Capricorn, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your December energy forecast. So coming into December, you are in the depths of your darkness. Your birthday is so close, but yet still so far away. Of course, as we wrap up Sagittarius season, you will definitely be in your shadow realm of self, really kind of blah, lacking that little bit of spark, soul energy, life force energy until your birthday hits and you get downloaded with the solar energy from the sun that you'll need to last you for your next natal year. Coming into December, we are definitely looking at a little bit of a wonky month with energy. We are still very much in Sag season, a fire energy, and because you are in earth energy, it can definitely feel a little bit blah. You're definitely stuck. You're not feeling the high vibes that you were hoping for. A lot of that is, again, because you're in your dark season, anticipating your birthday. There are a lot of ideas, some very unfocused energy, and for the most part is likely creating a little bit of agitation in your mental plane. So we get started in December on the 3rd with Neptune in Pisces energy, who has been retrograde for the past 5 months, finally going direct. Now, Neptune rules over our soul self, our intuition, our ideas, our dreams, our connection to the divine. And for the past 5 months, it was essentially as if the universe kind of slapped the rose-colored glasses off of our face. We couldn't run, we couldn't hide. We had to deal with life, the ugly parts of it. We had a hard time, seeing the light and fluffy silver linings out of situations. And for many of us, have been thrown in a very, very deep, dark pit of some very tough spiritual lessons. But with Neptune now going direct, we have a renewed sense of faith. We have a returning creativity that is really going to help us kind of identify where it is that we want to go from here. Neptune going direct means that we have a renewed confidence within ourselves. Again, we just came out of the depths of the darkness, if you will. We've been through a lot that has really pushed us to our breaking point, and we figure now if we survive that, we can survive anything. So with Neptune going direct, it is going to be going direct at 22 degrees in Pisces. And this has been an ongoing back and forth issue for you in your 3rd house. Your 3rd house is your mental plane. It's communication, it's ideas, it's how you express what's going on inside of you to the outer realm. And with Neptune, who is very much about imagination and fantasy and dreams and creativity, it has been like a light switch for you, constantly being flicked on and then constantly being flicked off. I feel like you're definitely going to have better ideas coming in. Most of my Capricorn friends have felt very blah, very numbed out over the last 5 months, I would say. Not a whole lot of imagination, inspiration, good ideas coming at you. It's been very hard to actually articulate what's going on in your inner realm because for the most part, you don't even understand it yourself. And, all this water energy is really kind of muddying up your thought process, muddying up your feelings. And I feel like Neptune finally going direct is going to give you a new vision, a new focus, a new idea, a new dream in order for you to actually apply that brand new creativity flowing in order for you to pursue. So on December 6th, that is when the Capricorn energy begins. We have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, ruler of communication, and ruler of that 3rd house that Neptune is going to be going direct in, moving into Capricorn. So this is going to be illuminating your 1st house of self. So this is like a taste of you feeling like yourself again, you having a little bit more clarity and focus in your mental plane. Of course, you are a no bullshit kind of person anyways, and Mercury moving into Capricorn is definitely going to have that much more of an effect on you. You're going to be able to create a lot of order out of some of the ideas and feelings that have felt a little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic. You're going to definitely be thinking more long-term about what it is that you want for yourself, what it is you want to pour your time, energy, and attention into. And because this is the first house of self, you actually have some things that you would like to get off your chest. You would like to speak and be heard. You would like to be able to articulate and share some of the things that you've been holding very, very deep inside of you. And, just become a little bit more expressive, especially with some of the things that you have been biting your tongue on. Now, on the 7th, we're going to have our full moon in Gemini at 16 degrees. This is going to be illuminating your 6th house. So first, let's just break it down. The full moon is a full illumination, a full release of a lot of the things that we've been biting our tongue on. Why? Because Gemini energy rules over the mental plane. It rules over communication. It rules over how it is that we express ourselves. And to take you back to, let's say May or June. Of course, a lot has transpired since then. A lot of new information has come in. A lot of new ideas have shifted our path, our direction. And now we are ready to talk about them. We're ready to let a lot of these thoughts and ideas and energies out of our physical body. Now, the 6th house is our day-to-day life. It's our tasks, our routines. It rules over health and wellness. It rules over where it is that we're being of service to other people. It's also very, very much highlighting the mental health aspect as well. Now, it would kind of be a little bit fitting for you to be a little bit more focused on adopting a little bit more of a healthy lifestyle for yourself. This 6th house wants you to pour the time and energy and attention on yourself, first and foremost, before showing up to be of service to everybody else. And because this Gemini energy has been, triggered and activated at 16 degrees, and side note, Mars is at 16 degrees retrograde in Gemini as well. This is going to be a lot of, I'm going to say, repressed anger, repressed frustration, a lot of the things, like I said, that we've been biting our tongue on. This is also going to illuminate, restlessness and agitation, where it is that we've been stuck in a rut and where it is that we have to create new routines for ourselves, especially if we want to feel better in our mental health, because of course we need to express and get our thoughts and feelings outside of our body, but we also need to create a healthy routine and regimen in order to take care of this physical vessel that we only have one of. So you'll definitely be seeing a shift in your day-to-day life, the routines that you have, the way that you're taking care of yourself, and you'll definitely see a full illumination on some of the things that you've been biting your tongue on and where it is that you need to speak your truth and get this energy out. On the 9th, we have Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and money, moving into Capricorn energy. So again, this is going to be in your 1st house of self. Now, Venus, she makes you feel good. She makes you look even better. You're shiny, you're new, you're glowing. Again, another little taste on what it is that you're going to feel on your birthday, feeling more like yourself, renewed in spirit. But here's the thing. Venus in Capricorn, she wants to get down to the nitty gritty and really focus on who and what is important. So obviously in the 1st house of self, there's a new worth, a new value, a new confidence that you're finding within yourself. You're also realizing some of the important people in your life that maybe have a little bit more significance to you this year around than they did maybe this time last year. Venus is focused on relationships, and because this is in the 1st house of self, this is the relationship with yourself first and foremost, but how you're kind of presenting yourself in all of the other relationships that you find to be of worth and value. In this Capricorn energy, we're thinking long term, and it wouldn't surprise me if there are some major changes taking place in your life where friends and family are concerned for the better, because I think that a lot has happened in this past year where the energy exchange in some of your personal relationships has hit an all-time high. Some others have hit an all-time low, really kind of changing the dynamic on what it is that is important to you. Now, another reason why I say that there's likely some dramatic changes taking place in your life is because on the 20th, we have Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, blessings and abundance, moving into Aries energy once again. Now, this is taking place in your 4th house of home and family dynamics, of boundaries, of foundations, and playing off of some of the other aspects that I see taking place at this particular point in your chart. It would suggest that there are people coming and people going, new foundations being formed, new boundaries being implemented, new, I'm going to say, family dynamics being altered. And Jupiter moving into Aries is kind of a redo. It takes us back to May of 2022. So back in the spring, we did have Jupiter dip into Aries at that time. Didn't stay very long. Nothing really happened out of it. We were hoping to start fresh, hoping to jump into something new, hoping to put ourselves out there in a different way and really grow through what it is we were going through. And then Jupiter went retrograde again. So this is like a second chance. This is like a redo. This is like a realignment. And in the 4th house, this has a whole lot to do with where it is you call home, who it is that you call home, the family dynamics within that home, and a new foundation being initiated, beginning, and being built. On the 21st is when the sun moves into Capricorn energy. This is your season. This is also the winter solstice. This is your time to shine. While most people are dreading this season, this is where you come back to life. Where most people are pulling away to be introverted, to reflect over the year, to be a little bit nostalgic, you are coming out of the shadows in order to step into the light. Of course, the sun shines a bright light on you. And in the 1st house of self, you are ready to be seen. You are ready to be renewed, rebirthed, revived. Again, you may have to wait until your birthday in order for those solar light codes to be downloaded within you. But the minute we dip our toe in Capricorn season is the minute you start feeling a little bit more like your new version of yourself. On the 23rd, we have the new moon taking place in Capricorn at 1 degree. And of course, this is going to be in your 1st house of self. This is a 1 degree. This is a brand new, fresh, clean slate for all of us to focus on what it is that we want to bring to life, what it is we want to build, what it is we want to create over this next 2-year cycle. Because it is in the 1st house of self, this is about who it is that you are, who it is that you want to become, the changes that you want to make within yourself, within your life, in order for you to grow, in order for you to reach new goals, in order for you to see yourself 2 years from now and what it is you want to be experiencing. This is going to be a very powerful time. This is your new moon. This is the best energy that you get to set the framework and foundation down for what it is that you want to experience for your next natal year. And I would definitely take advantage of this energy and really get serious and focused on the kind of experiences you want to manifest over your next year. Also on the 23rd, we have Chiron, that wounded healer, going direct in Aries energy. Now, Chiron has been retrograde in Aries energy, really trying to help us be a brand new version of ourselves, reinvent ourselves, rebrand ourselves. We have a lot changing within us. And Chiron going direct is going to be illuminating your 4th house of home and family. Again, another reason why I mentioned earlier, I see people coming, I see people going, but I also see new foundations, new connections, new relationship dynamics actually being formed. Because Chiron is the wounded healer, and he has the potential to illuminate our wounds and also download us with the knowledge and the wisdom to heal them, there's likely been some family dysfunction, some family drama, if you will, that's finally being sorted out. And although it might not be a full resolution or completion of this topic and theme, it does kind of feel like the pieces are being snapped together in a better way. And this is much better of a situation for you than it has been over the last 2 years. Lastly, we have on the 29th, Mercury going retrograde in Capricorn, which of course is in this first house for you. So of course, Mercury going retrograde is never a fun time. Our minds go to mush. We're not able to communicate as confidently and effectively as we would like. Technology takes a hit. And in Capricorn energy, we are definitely more reflective, more serious, more somber, more nostalgic than we would be in any other sign. This is a great time to take a pause to reflect over all the things that you've had to go through over this past year. What has been broken, what has been damaged, what has died, what has been totally destroyed in order for new foundations, systems, structures to be built in its place. Yes, we are going to be entering into a brand new year with Mercury retrograde, but I would like to think that this is going to give us a pause, a time out from the hecticness of the holiday season to really take a good look and examine where it is in our past we could have done things differently. And from that, we can bring it into the present moment. And from that, we can project those particular life lessons into our future path so that we can right the wrongs and, of course, make something good out of the things that weren't so good. So we do have Mercury really kind of effing things up for us, and our mental plane definitely going to be a little bit more of a negative narrative than we would like going into a brand new year. But we have Mercury and Mars both coming out of their retrogrades very early on in 2023. And I feel like this is going to be a very powerful time to be productive, to make up for this quote unquote lost time, to realign, recalibrate in a brand new direction with some very, very amazing, inspirational new ideas to pursue. And of course, with our logical, practical, long-term sights set on our new goals with this Capricorn energy, you best believe that we are going to see a lot of progress in a short amount of time the minute we enter into 2023. So some of the messages that I would like to leave you with for you to focus on as you move throughout the month of December. First of all, they're talking about having a huge change, a pivot point, a transformation take place in your life. And I want to somehow connect this to eclipse season that we just went through, Scorpio season, which was all about death and rebirth and renewal and transformation. It feels that there's been a lot of pent up anger, maybe brokenheartedness, some sadness, some grief that you've been holding on to, maybe not even acknowledging within yourself. But it does feel like December is offering you a point to kind of leave that in the past where it belongs and know that you have reached a certain completion point with this topic and theme so that you can wholeheartedly walk away knowing that it's the right thing to do. Now, when they talk about this kind of energy, it does kind of suggest that you are ending a season and preparing to begin a new one. But I also feel very compelled to connect this to both Neptune and going direct in that third house and just moving on from some of the hardships, some of the tough love life lessons that you've been kind of thrown over the past 5-6 months. But I feel more compelled to connect this to the fourth house of home and family dynamics. I feel like I said, there's relationships coming, there's relationships going, there's ones beginning, there's ones ending. There are ones that are creating distance while others are getting closer. But regardless, this reorganization of the family dynamics, the relationship dynamics is kind of ending up in a situation that works out best for you. So even though you might hold a lot of heaviness in your heart space for the ones that you've lost or the ones that, aren't as close to you anymore, the ones that are evolving and becoming a little bit closer and more connected are essentially filling the void of the soul contracts, the relationships that you're now willing to kind of create distance with, and in some cases, walk totally away from. I know that mentally speaking, emotionally speaking, it's not easy to do this. It's also not easy to watch things end and wait for the new things to begin. The adjustment period is never good. I also know that my Capricorn friends struggle a lot with the negative narrative more than other signs. Saturn being your ruler, you can thank Saturn for that. But I also feel that because my Capricorn friends are in the depths of their darkness as they anticipate, Capricorn season and that sun shining a bright light and downloading with them with the light codes that they're going to need for this next year, it kind of feeling like the first part of December is a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of tests against the mental health issues, and a lot of tests against your heart space. And at some point, it can feel like your mind is overwhelmed. And again, with Neptune going direct in this third house of your mental plane, it can feel like a jolt, can feel overwhelming. It can feel like you just want to kind of numb and disassociate and kind of, just curl up in a ball and wait for everybody to figure their own shit out. But at the same time, I feel like there is this certain release, especially around the full moon in Gemini, that is going to provide you with an opportunity to speak your truth, to get out some of that anger, to let that frustration flow out of you and have that releasing point so that you can move into your birthday season with a fresh, clean slate. Lastly, they're showing me the number 6, and we talked about the number 6, the 6th house in particular, with that full moon in Gemini, and having to really get real with switching up your routine and putting your health and wellness first and showing up for yourself before you show up for other people, and to really just get real with what it is that you need to do in order to feel good about yourself. This is about balance. This is about understanding where it is that you have been living up to other people's, expectations, or trying to make other people happy before you make yourself happy. This would be an opportune time for you to realize where it is that it's okay to pull the reins back on showing up for other people, just so that you can press the gas down to make up that you're showing up for yourself first and foremost. So Capricorn, I hope you have a beautiful December. I hope that you give yourself permission to kind of detox and cleanse all of the ickiness that you've been holding inside in order to prepare that fresh, clean slate for Capricorn season and, of course, for your birthday. I'm wishing you a very happy early birthday season. I wish you a very happy holiday season. I want to thank you so much for your continued love and support, and we'll see what life has to offer us as we move into 2023. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sending you nothing but love, and we'll talk to you soon.